So I spent a good deal of time breaking down what you didn't know about companies, smartphones, gadgets, but having just hit 3 million subscribers, here are 15 things you didn't know about me. I've had a lot of hair phases. It started bald, went with what was pretty much a bowl cut, and this turned into more of a mop, which finally evolved into spiky. And even then, there were a few more iterations before we finally got to here. My favourite phone ever was the HTC One M8. So many good memories associated with it. It was the first time I had a camera I was genuinely excited to use, with portrait mode and cool filters. Plus, the first time I'd had a phone with stereo front-facing speakers. I loved this thing. I'm also incredibly competitive. If someone beats me at something, I'd like to think I'm a good sport about it, but I will also already definitely be thinking about how to beat them next time. My job right now, being a tech YouTuber, is a bit of a weird one. It's not very well understood. Once you're in it, it makes sense. A company will send a product, I will use the product, I will tell you what I think. But it wasn't always like this. When I started, I had a little camcorder, not a lot of money, and the camera presence of, honestly, a vegetable. I realized that the YouTubers that were ahead of me, they were only going to continue to get further and further ahead because they had the large channels, they had all the contacts, they got invited to all the events. I didn't. And so, the only choice I had was to do two things. A. Software-based videos. If you've been following the Mrwhosetheboss channel for some time, you'll know I would make as many Android app videos as I could, because that's all I had the budget for. And B. I had this constant stream of buying and selling phones. I'd buy one in, I'd review it, then I'd sell it again, hoping to try and make back what I'd lost on the phone in ad revenue. It was not very successful. I would almost always lose money doing this, but it was the only way I could get the channel off the ground. I was a Windows user up until about the age of 14, and then Apple stole me. Since moving to a MacBook, I kinda just stuck with it. There have been a fair few times when I wished I could just jump ship back to Windows. Those laptops are more powerful, with often better heat management, but I just love the Mac software too much. For the last 2.5 weeks, my SIM card has actually been in the Galaxy Fold, and I don't think I've ever both loved and hated a phone this much at the same time. It's so cool, and that massive inside screen is glorious in applications that take advantage of it. But there are just far too many that don't. I've tried posting Instagram stories, but it cuts off the bottom third, so I can't actually see what I'm posting. I've tried watching video, but it only fills half the display. Even for games, you'll often lose a lot of important info on the sides of the screen. Also questionable battery life. I ditch about 50% of the videos I initially planned to make. I'll have an idea, usually just before I'm about to go to bed. I'll write it down, I'll get halfway through scripting it, and then just decide, actually, it wasn't that great of an idea. One thing related to this that sometimes makes me a little nervous is this tech world moves so quickly, but it takes 3 to 4 days to make a good quality video. So sometimes I just worry that by the time the video goes live, some new bit of information is going to drop, which is going to make the entire thing redundant. I've always been really good at maths and really bad at languages. In fact, you might know I studied economics at university, but something that I haven't talked about is that I use this almost every single day. I spend hours per week using the statistics I learned at uni to break down the graphs and data I get from YouTube analytics, essentially approaching YouTube from the perspective of a math student. And it would be totally fair to say I became a little bit obsessed by it. When the channel was just starting, I would regularly print out my Social Blade profile to keep track of my progress over time. If we just pick up the top one here, you can see I took this screenshot when I'd uploaded 164 videos and the channel had 3,202 subscribers. I'd plotted graphs predicting future growth, and of course, at the time I had absolutely no idea that within a few years, the channel would rocket past the absolute highest possible estimates I'd given myself. So that was my statistics out the window. To give you an idea, it took 7 years to get from 0 to 1 million subscribers, 1 year to get from 1 to 2 million subscribers, and 8 months to get from 2 to 3. You've probably seen this guy pop up in a few videos. This is Simba, he's just turned 1, and he's shaping up to be quite the tech reviewer himself. Work in progress. Look, it's the Samsung Galaxy Fold. Look, so good. Before I started YouTube, I used to be a full-time follower of existing tech creators like MKBHD, and it's just crazy to think that a couple of months ago, I was literally at his studio. We were just sat there talking tech like old friends catching up. And that journey from being a viewer to being on the other side of the camera is just so surreal every time I think about it. My favorite piece of tech ever was probably the PlayStation Portable. I wasn't much of a home console gamer, so this is where a lot of those hours went. Games like God of War, Metal Gear Solid, and probably number one, Monster Hunter. In a normal day, I'd say I work between 12 and 14 hours. It's more than a lot of jobs, but I think when you work for yourself, doing something that can be super interesting, you don't mind as much. There are a lot of times I completely forget to eat meals, I completely forget what time it is, I forget where I am, but I'm happy. I'm doing something that I really, really love. If I had to pick my least favourite part of the job, it's probably emails. I never seem to quite finish them. You go through them in the morning before you start your main work, and by the time you get to the evening, everyone you've just replied to has just sent back a message. But they're important, and I get some really funny ones too. They just come in out of nowhere and brighten your day. Hi Aaron, we are big fans of your beauty and makeup channel. Please reply to my massage on Instagram. Is there any chance you could buy me a PC? My mum thinks it's a waste of time and money, but I'm really good at Fortnite, I need a PC. And finally, I realise this is going to sound super cheesy, but I'm being deadly serious when I say that I wake up every morning grateful. This tech universe, it moves quickly, and things are bound to change, but even for the opportunities I've had until this point, I've got nothing but gratitude for. So thank you. Thank you for 3 million. Thank you for every time you've liked, you've commented on, or you've even just watched something that I've made. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you for the complaints. And most importantly, thank you for sticking with me. I've been doing YouTube for well over a third of my life, and every now and again I watch my past videos, just trying to comprehend who on earth saw this and thought, wow, I really enjoyed that, I want to see more of this, I want to support this person. And the answer is you guys. So I can't fully express how much it means to me.
Okay, hey YouTube, just doing a quick video on my orange San Francisco ZT Blade, whatever you call it.
Let's do a quick video to thank everybody who subscribed, commented and liked my videos in the past 2 years, because I've just hit 1 million views on YouTube. Okay, hi YouTube, Mrwhosetheboss here, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Nexus 6. So basically, this is the first time I've ever done this, and it's super exciting. Thank you so much, like it really makes me so happy. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.